Hello. I'm going to walk you through the online version of the course. A lot of this stuff is the same as what you're used to, but seeing as nothing's quite the same as we're used to, I think it's important to walk through things. Some of the things are very different than what we're used to as well. So let's start with the main page. Here we are, AUT 159.01. Just a brief course description, a little map wiring diagram. Over here there is a downloadable version of the reading list, and there are PDF versions of the PowerPoints that I usually use when I teach this class. I also have supplied PowerPoints in another section, which we'll get to in a second. I have bookmarks for some tutorials, so these are some quick links to help you figure out things like, oh, all the resistors are loose out of their packages now and I don't know what's what. Well, you can click on this site. We're using a 5-strip resistor, so to go to the 5-strip, and then all you have to do is just put in what the colors are and it will give you a resistance reading. So the resistance, these are the colors that were on that resistor, would be 55,600 ohms. So this could be useful. I prefer to usually just use my ohm meter. It makes things a lot faster. But you can use this if you find it useful. There's also a couple links to some good videos I found where they explain how to use a multimeter in case you're not quite remembering from 5 months ago, how to use a breadboard, which was supplied in the electronics kit that I sent you. And then these down here are more suited towards circuit math and some theories behind circuits, and all this stuff is available to you and you're welcome to use it even when you're taking quizzes and tests or any of that stuff. This is all going to be open notes this semester, so not that I can police it anyway, but I figure might as well just make things easier on you. There is a link to this breadboard simulator, which you don't have to download this at all, but this is what I've been using to create the circuits on the breadboards that you'll see with the weekly lab assignments. So if you want to play around with it, if you have Windows 10, it's a free download. It's a little bit clunky at first getting used to what does what. But it's pretty cool. I think it's useful, and all it really can do, because it's really meant to be used with a Arduino or like a little microprocessor. It really is just good for putting schematics together, but check it out and see what you think about it. This one I think is really useful. You can't build a very big circuit with it, but you can take this, and I'll make it full screen, and we can change our voltage levels on this. How do I do that? Yeah, this one right here. So I could change this. 9 volts is what we're using on our boards. You can go up to 12 volts or whatever, like what we'd have for an automotive battery. Then you can go through and you can add resistors to the circuit. I added a couple that I didn't really want to have. If you right click on them, that makes them go away. But you can add resistors to the circuit and then go ahead and start drawing. There you are. Start drawing your wiring. And oops, I accidentally made a short circuit, so let's get rid of that. Right click. But it even shows you this is the voltage as you go along, and then it drops the voltage afterwards. We can change the, pretty sure I can change the resistance of those resistors as well. I'm sure that there is a way, but I'm not going to waste your time with it right now. You can also do voltage measurements. So we can actually do our voltage drop and see, yes, we did drop 9 volts, and test for available voltage if you wanted to as well. And it's a 9-volt power source, so I think that's a pretty useful tool. Get out of there. Then moving down, well, one, I kind of passed by it. This is the downloadable reading list as well, like I usually do. I put this on the front page. And if we zoom in, the first week assignments are all on here, 35, 37, 38. There's going to be a weekly quiz, and I'm going to try to keep this to somewhere around 10 questions every week. And really what this is it's in reference to the type of lab activities and lectures that I've done for the week. So this one's on circuit math. The next week one will be on some basic electrical theory and so on and so forth. We'll start getting some wiring diagrams in there, and you'll be deciding what open on this wire, what the symptom would be, things of that nature. But that's a little bit ahead of us. If you scroll down to the bottom, I'll make this regular size again. Each week a new handout will be added down here, and this is a zip file. So click on it. Maybe I'll click on it again. There we go. So if you save this, make sure you go into Save As and pick a spot on the desktop or in a file folder so you know where you're saving this document to. So if I wanted to put it on my desktop, just click on desktop, and there we go. I can save it right there. You can also just open it, and you'll be able to view the files that way. You won't really be able to, you can save it individually through here as well if you want to. This is, the only way I can post all this stuff at the same time is in a compressed folder, like a zip file, so you'll have to unpack that zip file if you download it, but nonetheless, this is all pretty simply dealt with. I have this section here, read first. This is going to be a PDF when I am done with this video, so I can add the link to the video on this document, because I've made it so that everything for this class can be done on a computer or a cell phone. You can view all the documents, you can make changes to everything, not make changes, but you can view all the documents, you can view all the PowerPoints, you'll be able to follow links to all of the sites. So like let's go to my YouTube site here, and one of the first videos is just unpacking the electronics kit, where I talk about what's inside the kit. So there it is. Hello. You'll see I have a page here, and there's a playlist under my page that's AUT 159, so you can follow that as well. Get rid of you. Goodbye. Alright, so this is where you're going to find pretty much everything that you'll need to do for the class. There's also a copy of the reading list, a copy of PowerPoints, in PowerPoint and PDF, but my phone can view the PowerPoints no problem. If you don't have PowerPoint on your computer, you can download it for free through your email account with the school, but I'm just trying to make it as accessible as possible. Your lab assignment is also in here, so you'll work through. Don't skip around, because I make references to certain things, and I want to make sure that you don't miss any steps. I'm going to try to put together an items list so you know what kind of stuff you'll be looking for in your kit, and I'll get more specific as we get into more complicated circuits. I'll give you a couple little little picture examples as we go along, and then you'll see a line diagram of what we're wiring up, and then a picture of what it should look like on your breadboard. They didn't have a 9-volt battery option, so we're just going to pretend like this is a 9-volt battery here, but a power supply is a power supply, right? We can all be on the same page with that. And just follow along. The real takeaway on this is each unit, so let's see, so circuit 1, when you're done building this circuit, you have to make sure that you take a picture of this circuit. You can snap a picture with your phone, and then once you've done all of them, we'll go to coursework. So here is our lab. activity right here, lab activity, simple circuits and voltage drops. So when you go to coursework, you'll be able to upload that file into the site, and I'm looking for one photo per circuit. Okay, and that's just proving that you built the circuit. While you go through the lab, I'm going to ask you questions like, what'd you get for a voltage drop across this resistor? Does it make sense? You should have gotten blah blah blah. What are some reasons why that may not have happened? That's for your own education, and I think that we're all here to learn some stuff and to make it through the class, so it's up to you how much you invest in that kind of stuff. I think that that's the stuff that in many situations is the most important part of the lab activities, but because of the situation we found ourselves in, I'm trying to make this as streamlined as possible. So you can upload the files here. You can do it through your computer, obviously. I tried doing it with my phone and it worked no problem. I was able to grab the photos right out of my phone and upload them when I did a trial run. So if you're having trouble with any of this stuff, let me know. We'll work through it together, and I'm a pretty reasonable human being, so I think that we'll be able to make this a good experience all the way around. I'm going to have office hours on Friday mornings at 9 o'clock. I'll be there online for an hour. And for this first week, we're going to try Friday morning at 9 o'clock. If this isn't working out for people and we need to try to find another time, then we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. My thought was, as far as the school is concerned, we're supposed to have office hours during a time that our class would have normally met. So I'm trying to meet that expectation. And then also, I didn't want to do it like Monday morning because all of your assignments are open up on Monday mornings, and then they're due like 11:55 on Sunday, and that's all of them. Your chapter homeworks, your quiz, your lab activity. It's all due the Sunday, ending the week. So in this case, our first week will be due on the 5th at 11:55 p.m. And I figured Friday was a pretty decent halfway mark. So if someone started working on something, had a question, well, now you still have a few days after the fact to get the work done, and it gives you a few days before the fact to actually look at the stuff, get through some of the lecture, start working with lab activities, and realize that maybe you got stuck on something, and we can hash it out together. Let's go back to coursework again. So you're going to have 3 chances for each of the homeworks, and I'll give you the highest grade that you receive, and this is just like all the homeworks you've had from me before. It's the questions at the end of the chapter. It's multiple choice. You get 3 chances, and I take the highest grade. For the circuit math quiz for this week, and there will be quizzes in subsequent weeks, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to give you 3 chances. These stuff is open notes, so use the resources that are available to you, and you get the highest grade. I'm not going to average it, you just get the highest grade. We're all having to work a little bit harder this semester, or this term of the semester, so let's just all try to do our best, and I'm trying to give where I can. The lab activity is just photos, so you don't need chances on that. And the reason why I've decided to give you multiple chances on stuff is if your internet crashes, if it submits itself for some reason, I don't want you to be all stressed out about having to email me and be like, please, can you open it back up, and whatever. I just want you to have the opportunities to get the work done. That's really, I think, what the most important thing is let's just get this work done. When we go into the grade book, no one freak out. I don't have any grade yet, and I don't think you should have any grade yet either. But what we will have, it doesn't break it down. Let's see if I can put it back to, I have to put it to regular view, I suppose. Oh, it's because a couple of these don't have options up there, but the gradebook is going to still follow the normal the normal grading that we do for these classes, where 70% of your grade is lab, so getting that weekly lab activity done, and then the quiz also is counting towards all that stuff as well. So 30% is like the classroom stuff, getting your homework done, and then 70% is these lab activities. So hopefully we enjoy doing the lab activities. I'm putting a fair amount of work into trying to make this still a interesting experience, and one that we still get to work with our hands a little bit. That being said, the lab activities will require you to have a meter, because you're going to have a hard time building some of these circuits without the meter, much less doing the testing that I'd like you to do once you've built the circuits. So if you still haven't sourced a meter, you really need to make that the priority, because this is an electrical class, and there's not an opportunity to go into the Snap-on trash can and grab a meter out of it. Okay. So big takeaways from this whole quick walkthrough are: every week on Monday, please check the new handout so you know what assignments you have due, and you can start working on them. You'll also be able to kind of plan ahead I tried to make the first week the heaviest one, so that as we go further along in the class, things can lighten up, and I'm sure that your academics are going to be just as interesting as this has been. So please look at that weekly handout, and this is where you'll find your lab activity and all that kind of stuff. If you're struggling with something, if something comes up, just contact me. I'm going to be on if you call my work number, it just forwards to my cell phone. So you'll be able to reach me. If you email me, I'm like basically living in front of my computer screen for the foreseeable future, so I think it should be pretty easy to be back and forth. If you email me late at night, there's a chance I might not get back to you. Same thing with like calling me late at night. I get sleepy and I fall asleep, and I'm pretty good at sleeping, so good luck waking me up with a phone call. But as soon as I can, I'll get back in touch with you. All right. So I'll send out an email on Monday morning, the 30th, as well, just to see how everybody's doing, kind of put some positive energy out there, and I hope to see some of you during the office hours on Friday morning. It's not mandatory. I'm not making any mandatory class meetings. I've got enough stuff together, so you should be able to pretty self-direct through here. I'm trying to make it as streamlined as possible. So good luck with the semester, and I do hope to hear from all of you, because I definitely miss that part of our class, being able to spend time together. So good luck, everybody. Stay safe and be well, and I'll see you on the other side.